Which type of tattoo makes you cringe the most? One my sister did for a guy on his arm of a juice carton with a pussy on the side saying pussy juice. Edit. If I remember correctly, it also had a droplet coming out the end of the straw. I was in line behind a guy who had a tattoo on his neck of two obese, naked cartoon women going at it, tongues hanging out, flying sweat drops, the works. Armpit pussies. It's when someone gets two women's legs tattooed around their armpit hair. Yes. Nothing says I've been to prison for cooking meth in my trailer like a Joker neck or face tattoo. Those creepy faces of babies, which look like there's a little demon on your body. I'm a tattoo artist. Had a regular come into the shop. He was an older swinger type and my co-worker tattooed him. He got Pinocchio tattooed above his junk with his D as the nose, and script that said lie to me. I try not to judge tattoos, but I figured you'd all appreciate this one. Oh grave a circumflex a diaresis. Edit. Obligatory wow this blew up edit. Thanks everyone for correcting my shrugoon copyright airing. The tattoo of a clown holding a gun smoking a joint on my leg. Edit. Thanks for all the love and awards guys. Never thought my horrible tattoo from 9 years ago would blow up like this. Just saw a couple of days ago a writing on some dude. Canna I center it just as I wrote it. Famous people. I get it that you really are a fan of said famous person, but to permanently ink their face onto yourself is borderline crazy emo. Tattoos of brands. It's basically free advertising. At least email them what they would pay you if you advertise for them till you die. I don't know the exact English word, but in German it's called ass antlers. I'm not sure what it's actually supposed to represent, but it kind of looks like you've got a deer tossing your salad inside your pants. Me reading these replies to see if any of my tattoos are on here. Sayings. Especially ones that span multiple limbs areas. I was in the army with a guy from Texas that thought he was hard as woodpecker lips. Had us a cowboy the duck up tattooed across his forearms, ostensibly so if he put his fists up to fight you, you would read it and, I don't know, be scared or something. He never got in any fights that I know of, but due to the size he wanted it in dirty planning. One arm said cowboy and the other arm simply read duck up, and he immediately became known as Cowboy, the Duck Up. Dumbus PV2 Waldo get me my first gold award lol thanks stranger. Lips on the neck. I get it. You're a gangster with an attitude problem and probably want to fight. Any tattoos like name plus name together forever, because if that relationship goes down and the two break up, that is gonna be awkward. A defendant in the courtroom I clerked in during law school had homicide tattooed on his face, over his eyebrow. Not a great look. Had a lady come into the store I was working in with a big neck tattoo that said daddy's girl dart may have been the most shocking one I've ever seen. Barbed wire around the arm that doesn't even go all the way because it hurt too bad. Know a girl who tattooed her firstborn's name as a tramp stamp. Not what I would want someone to be looking at while tagging from behind. Hyper-realistic porn star facial tattoos. Yes, you read that correctly. This is actually a thing. I just can't imagine getting that permanently put on your body for display. Here are a couple of examples. NSFW. Air cute. NSFW. Couple tattoos like portraits or names. Mostly when they proudly tell you it's because they've been together for 5 months and just know they stay together forever. NSFW tattoos. Like it's cool that you really love your girlfriend's V, or that you want to showcase a ginormous imaginary D you have. But the rest of us don't really want to see that. To be fair though, I haven't really seen these much in person, mostly online. A misspelled tattoo. Edit. A purposely misspelled tattoo makes sense. I meant ones that were by accident. Thanks for the award. Memes. The thought that a lot of people have dead memes from 2017 on their arms or legs is kinda funny. Knew of a guy once who had dubstep tattooed on his chest in very large letters. He also insisted that dubstep was the future of music and was here to stay. I once stood in line behind a lady who had, like, the bad tattoo parade going from the nape of her neck. She had only God can judge me something in Asian characters, and an ugly, faded, poorly drawn crucifix. That stupid cliche thing that says life one way and death the other. One time I saw a lower back tattoo that was the Target logo of Bullseye, and it really solidified for me why those are called tramp stamps. Edit. Thank you to those reminding me that the tattooed cum zone on this gentle lady's back was in fact a Bullseye, and not the Target logo, which is in fact a Bullseye. I actually plan on getting a biohazard symbol as a tattoo. Some people have said, what? Are you trying to be punk or edgy or something? Or something along those lines when I tell them, but then I explain it's because of my career. I'm a medical lab tech, and I deal with biohazardous substances all day, so it's a nod to the fact that the human body, and everything it produces, is considered biohazardous material. I'm just being a good little lab tech and labeling myself appropriately. Edit. It has been brought to my attention by several people that the biohazard symbol is used in the gay community to denote IV+ status. I appreciate the information, but being the fact that I am a happily married bi woman, I don't think it will affect me in the same manner. Former tattoo artist here, and it has to be infinity symbols, especially when they want them to be unique. So they have you spend 3 hours drawing up different ways of cramming little McKaysley and Braxton's names, birth dates, birth weights, blood types, and favorite ice cream flavors in there. Fine. I'll find a way. I can work for my money. Oh, and can it also have a thin blue line in there for my husband? Sure, lady. And maybe some birds breaking off of it. Cause my Mima loves birds. Sigh. Yeah. Okay. And can you do it on the side of my finger in white ink? Duck you. Get out. Edit. Bonus points on these if they walk in holding a monogrammed Yeti tumbler full of the alcohol they're trying to smuggle in. Tattoos that are gifts from you to someone else. For example, for your birthday, I got your birth date tattooed on me, and tattoos with spelling errors. Example, were you really there if you think you were there? Any tattoo with something in Chinese or Japanese written on it. I am learning Japanese cause why not? And I saw this dude with a tattoo saying sakana, fish. I was like, hey, what does that mean? And he said poison. He may have typed Poisson into Google Translate lol. The only God can judge me tattoo. No, we can all judge you. Names of significant others. Ones where the person gets a tattoo of someone using either their real nipple or belly button to replace the tattoo of a person's nipple or belly button. For example, Buddha with real belly button. It's fking gross. Don't get one. Bad portraits. Misspellings. I have a tramp stamp that says no regrets in very fancy cursive. It's the only tattoo my dad laughed at rather than cringed. I can judge no one. Any tattoos of genitals or an anus makes me cringe. I'd see what you want tattooed on your body. I do however hate seeing a T-work egg, poor line work, muddy colors, incoherent shading, disproportionate shaping, etc. I refuse to sink next to an anchor. That is literally what anchors are made for. Chinese writing when they have no cultural connection to it and got it just because it looks cool, especially Western names translated into Chinese. Baby faces. You have a child. I get it. You love him. But he will be a generic newborn for a few months, and you will think fondly ever after about his grown-up version, with specific facial features. His baby picture will mean very little after a while. Some vague inspirational quote that in all likelihood the tattooee didn't even choose before they went to the tattoo parlor, but rather selected from a pre-chosen list written up by the parlor. Literally anyone that has too small tattoos and is constantly posting about how discriminated against people with tattoos are and how pathetic all the Karens of the world are for being offended by tattoos. Like, calm down Becky, no one has ever said anything actually rude to you about your 3-inch faith tattoo written in such swirly cursive that it could be a roller coaster at my whole identity as victimhood island. Be happy, be free, live, laugh, stay positive. Daddy's little girl, daddy's princess. These tattoos they get, at least put some thought and make it original or unique or at least interesting. Ducking wings. Where you think you're flying to. Any image that incorporates bodily hair, I got Pokemon tattoos, so I'm not judging anyone. Edit. Here's some pics. Once I saw a dude in a gym who had an elephant tattooed in his crotch. Guess what was the trunk? Lame calligraphy of the Pinterest type. I work with the deceased. I've seen a direct correlation between only God can judge ME tattoos and being a victim of gunshot homicide. Juggalo tattoos don't bode well for MVAs. Tasmanian devils go hand in hand with gastric bleeds from chronic alcohol consumption. The clinically depressed seem to like dolphins. The people who put words from a language they don't understand cause it's quirky, and 99% of the time it isn't proofread, so it doesn't say what they think it does. I was in the supermarket today and saw a man with a full body Harley Quinn tattoo on his arm. The Margot Robbie movie one. The rebel flag. Where I'm from that's the usual tattoo and it makes me cringe. I feel bad when I see people my age that got those barbed wire tattoos. Literally everyone had them. So they all look the same. Tramp stamps were pretty bad too. At least the barbed wire did look kind of cool. I've never seen a tramp stamp that I liked. Those little mustaches on the pointer finger. Last name across the back. Like who needs that? Tattoo artist here. Tribal died in the 90s, early 2000s. Leave it there. Edit. I've never been given any awards before, so that's really cool. Thank you. Southern Cross stars? For Aussies who think the stars are only visible from our country. Well, there's a story of a cringe tattoo that I almost got, but I'm so damn glad that I didn't. When I was 16 I was a very different person than I am at 28. I wanted to get a tattoo and my mom said I could if I paid for it. Me being the 16-year-old Bible belter surrounded by rednecks that I was. I wanted a big cross filled in with an American flag on my arm. I'm now an atheist who doesn't care about patriotism at all and cannot be happier that my ass didn't have the money at the time. Moral of the story, if you're going to get a tattoo before you're 20, I advise getting something simple and non-controversial, because you never know where your life is going to take you and tattoos are permanent. I saw a tattoo on some guy's leg yesterday. It was a Confederate flag with Southern by chance at the top and white by the grace of God at the bottom. A crush of mine got a tattoo of Hank Williams on her breast. Totally killed my interest in her, lol. Imagine being in the middle of Curtis and seeing an old dude in cowboy hat staring at you while she demands you go harder. No sir, I'm out. I saw a kid with the 100 emoji tattooed on his forearm. I don't even have a joke to make about that. Nothing screams white trash more than a Looney Tunes tattoo. I do enjoy LT. Don't get me wrong. However, Tweety or Tasmanian Devil are of utmost cringe tattooed. I ran into a guy who had a tattoo of a rooster on a noose, on his calf. When asked what it represented he simply said, I have a cock that hangs below my knee. People with tattoos are diligently scrolling to see if fire tattoo is mentioned. Hate tattoos are the only kind of tattoo I really openly don't like. Any other tattoo is the person's choice, and as long as it's not super offensive it's not my problem. If they like it then fine. White dude bros with Polynesian tats. I worked with a native Hawaiian guy and he said of all the racist things people take or portray from Hawaii, the stealing of Polynesian tattoos pissed him off the most. The purpose of Polynesian tattoos is that every symbol within the tattoo means something specific and signifies growth as you grow as a person. And the main problem he had with these dude bros is that when asked about their tattoos and what they mean, all they could say was nothing. I just thought it looked cool. Meanwhile these guys are wearing symbols portraying stories of strength, loss, death, hardship, etc. and they have no idea what any of it means. To natives it's extremely disrespectful, and for that reason it's the cringiest form of tattoo that I will ever see anywhere. Edit. Wow, thanks for the silver and all the discussion. To add to this post, yes, there are some ways to do these tattoos respectfully, and yes, if you did your proper research and could attest to the purpose of your tattoo then I'm sure most natives wouldn't have a problem with it. However, since it's been soiled by so many stereotypical people you may still get harsh looks unless you're willing to explain it. Also, I completely agree with the commenter below who stated it was akin to buying and wearing a purple heart because you think it looks cool. You hit the nail on the head. Service tattoos are very popular here in America, and the closest comparison we have to this would be another country appropriating World War II service tats describing rank, unit, combat experience, etc. and having absolutely no clue what they mean just because they think it makes their gains look good. Also, at the end of the day, of course, you can get whatever tattoo you like, and even just for the reason it looks cool. But these tattoos specifically have such cultural significance that anyone who actually understands what they mean are going to look at them and see cringe. Thank you for all the discussion. My friend got one of some Viking symbol on his chest. Mind you, he was like fully Filipino with no relation to Scandinavia at all. We all told him it was cringe AF. He passed away a few months later in a cliff jumping accident, and a few of us got tattoos in his honor. I got the same stupid Viking tattoo on my chest now. No regrets yo. The pair of red lips tattoo makes me cringe. When I was getting one of my tattoos, some gangster came in asking for a price on a pair of lips. After he walked out, the tattoo artist went laughing about how stupid that tattoo is. Lions. Ducking lions. Nothing screams douchebag louder than a biggest lion on your chest. I'm gonna go with insane clown posse face paint permanently tattooed on the face. This thread made me feel better about myself and my life decisions. Thanks Reddit. I hooked up with a woman who has a tramp stamp which reads damaged. The font is fairly terrible, so the first time we had sex, I thought it said demigod, which, while arrogant and odd, wasn't enough to stop the arousal of my primitive monkey brain. The next time we had sex and I realized what it actually said, it really took me out of the moment and I never went back. It's hard to avoid people in a small town, but it's gotta be even harder to keep a tattoo like that from becoming quality gossip. Ship art, by which I mean, like fandom shipping. Years ago I saw a tattoo on someone's leg of John and Sherlock from BBC Sherlock, and it still haunts me to this day. More recently, saw a tattoo of Solace from Dragon Age. It's just, you? I feel like tattoos of people's faces will always be cringe, but having those faces being a fictional characters you wish were ducking really makes me wanna implode. Those expressing extremist political views. Pretty much anything on the face. I love tattoos. I dream of being nearly covered in them one day, but face tattoos very rarely look any better than awful. Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes peeing on stuff, except the one from Hot Rod with one stream of urine going on the TV set and one going on the FM radio with an AM radio safely dry in the middle on a magic carpet. It's not the type of tattoo, it's where it goes that makes me cringe. I often see people who are really young getting tattoos in some very peculiar places for somebody who has no idea what they want to do in their life. None in particular, but these tattoos I see on a particular brand of hipster that look like they've just been to the tattoo parlor 100 different times and picked out 100 different random small stock tattoos scattered all over their body with no forethought. Congrats, you look like a bathroom wall. Dreamcatcher on the chest, nautical stars, and a flower that turns into a flock of birds. All of these are dangerous signs. Specifically the first two, but I've yet to meet someone non-trashy with those tattoos. It's more often the contrived stories associated with tattoos that are the biggest cringe. Just say you thought it would look cool, not some BS meaning you can bore everyone with as evidence of your deep and complex character. Or if it has meaning to you, great, but the more you shove that down the throats of others, the more it sounds contrived. Ribbons on the back of the legs, ugh. Tribal tattoos on suburbanites. Friend of mine got a one night stand's name tattooed on her foot while her fiance was in prison, so that's wrong on at least 3 different levels. But basically anything with the name of an SO immediately makes me think there's real potential for regret there. Live, laugh, love usually gets a retch. Oh, and Hatchet Man tattoos. Because I have one and I cringe whenever I see it. Edit. Forgot kanji because it's usually mistranslated. That amuses me more than anything, though. Probably a tie between anything homemade by a rookie with a tattoo gun bought off Amazon and marijuana leaf / 420 tattoos. I have nothing against weed, but don't itch about your life constantly and wonder why you can't get better than a kitchen job when you have a homemade pot leaf tattoo covering the majority of your arm, wrist to elbow. Tattoos that are spelled wrong. And yes, spelt and spelled are both correct. I know what you're like, Reddit.